Okay, thank you everybody for joining us for our Wheelchair Sports Zoom on adaptive water ski. We've asked Nolan Barnes to give us a little presentation tonight. Nolan's been water skiing for over 10 years. I think he said he started in 2010. So anyways, I'm going to throw it over to Nolan and turn my camera off.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks for everyone that could join us tonight. I'm very excited to have been asked to share with you guys the sport that I love so much, that has given me so much to live for after my spinal cord injury. A little bit about myself. I was injured in a motor vehicle accident back in 2010. I'm a T6 paraplegic. I'm sure most of you know what that is, but for those that maybe don't, it's just below the chest line down. And I tried a variety of different sports. I still am game to try any kind of sport. But my good friend Pete Andrews introduced me into the sport of adaptive water skiing. And just to kind of start things off before I get right into the presentation, I've got a little video I want to show you guys. It's about 13 minutes long, so get comfy. But it's a really good video, really good promo video we did down in Florida back in 2019. Right before the World Championships. So I'm just going to share my screen here, and I will get that going here. Okay. Everybody see my screen now? There we go. What water skiing does, it gets me out of the chair. It doesn't make me feel disabled at all.
Very quickly after I got on the water, I realized that I got to check my disability at the dock.
When it comes down to fun and traveling and doing something, yeah, I live to do this water sport.
Being out on the water provides you the freedom. Again, you can have your imagination just run wild in what you can do on the skis. I feel like I'm doing things that most people in the world can't do. That exhilarating feeling of just flying. That's a feeling like no other, and I get that from water skiing.
The high-performance program for Waterskiing Wakeboard Canada's Worlds team is that after the 2017 Worlds, we took all the skiers that got our points for our fourth place finish there, and they became our national team. We had a prospect camp last year right here in Central Florida, and we brought in quite a few different skiers from across Canada, and we had a number of those skiers skied their way onto the team. What we're doing now is we're actually fine-tuning everybody and getting them to understand what's required to compete at the world level, both technically and mentally, to prepare them for the 2019 Worlds, which is this July in Norway. We've placed fourth in the last four Worlds, which is the best Canada's ever done. To win a medal, you have to place first, second, or third. So we're looking for a medal.
I was hurt in 2007. I was in a motor vehicle accident. Me and a couple buddies, we rolled my truck. As a result of that, I was a T4 incomplete paraplegic. I was introduced to water skiing from a very close friend of mine. I was just kind of sitting on the couch feeling sorry for myself kind of thing. There was one day, he's like, you know what, we're doing a give it a go day of water skiing. You're going. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you you're going. I'm so grateful for the fact that he did because it's changed my life. When I first started, I didn't know what to expect. Any stressors that I had in my life, I got to leave at the dock and I got to go and do my thing, and there was nothing that was holding me back while I was out there water skiing. And gets the ticker going a little bit quicker than everything else again.
So I was injured May 8th, 2010, and left me a T6 paraplegic. I pretty much have no feeling from about my chest down. Did a little bit of water skiing before I was hurt, and I watched a guy named Pete Andrews go out and ski. It just seemed like it was a sport that I wasn't like any other sport. 3 days after I got out of the hospital, I got a membership with the Saskatoon Water Ski Club and started skiing. It's a freeing experience. It doesn't make me feel disabled at all. I feel like I'm doing things that most people in the world can't do. I like things that get my heart pumping, that adrenaline, that speed, that exhilarating feeling of just flying. That's a feeling like no other, and I get that from water skiing.
After a week of different doctors and specialists, I learned that I had a tumor growing on my spine. So within a week, I went from walking, doing all the sports I ever dreamed of doing, to being in a wheelchair, taking chemo. It took about 4 or 5 years for me to finally accept it and move on and actually start living a happy life again. As an adaptive water sports athlete, I got involved after a trip to Wakestock, where I met this guy named Danny Hampson, a professional wake skater. Got invited to go down to Florida and try out the board. First time I got up, never looked back, just kept riding and pushing it. 10 years later, I've got a world championship under my belt, a couple national championships. I absolutely needed to pass the torch on. After that was passed to me, the first guy that ever contacted me, I had him come down to the local wakeboard park, and he tried out my setup, and he lived quite far away, and he wanted one, so I actually gave him that cage to take with him, and I gave him the same deal. I said, man, I got this handed to me, I'm going to hand it to you, and I'd love for you to hand it to somebody else. And that's actually what happened with it. So, yeah, passing the torch means a lot.
I'm a T9, T10 paralyzed about a year ago. I got into water skiing a little bit last summer. Nolan and Dave got me introduced to it, and then they invited me out here, and I was excited right away. Water skiing's become the thing that I get excited about now. Very first time I skied adaptive, I couldn't get the smile off my face. It's something different than hockey. It's a summer sport, which I never really did before, and it's all on me. The work I put in, I get back. I've been progressing really quickly. It's been amazing. The coaches down here with Dave and Lisa have been unreal. Last day I had got the 360 after trying for so many days to hit that, and you finally get it. This is the greatest feeling of accomplishment. Life is definitely not over. I want to take it as far as possible. National and world championship. Get to go out there and have fun. You just get to get creative, you know?
I got involved in Regina, Saskatchewan when one of my friends had been doing it for a long time, had asked me to come out and try it. So I went out to the Have a Go Day and did it a couple times and just loved it because I had been doing water sports before I got hurt, and kind of got me back being on the water and being kind of free and being able to just do stuff. It gives me more independence and be able to do things that I used to be able to do that I no longer could do, but now I can do them again with my friends and just go back out there and feel more normal, I guess, really.
I live in Nova Scotia, and I have what's called cerebral palsy, which is when only half my brain works at once. I came into this only being able, with 2 side skiers, being able to go straight ahead, and that was it. And now I'm hands down doing it on my own, going side to side. I love going fast.
I liked it. I got to meet all kinds of people, teach me a lot of water skiing. I learned a lot of new tricks. It was pretty cool.
I met a very wonderful group of people at dinner one night by surprise. I was standing with my crutches and was approached by Dave, who said, "Hey, would you like to come out and join us and try some skiing?" And I went, "That's an interesting concept." And my girlfriend said, "Yes, he would." That's how I ended up out here having a wonderful time. I was involved in a motorcycle car accident. I was on the motorcycle and my leg was torn off. It wasn't cleanly amputated. It took about 5 months after the accident for my skin to actually heal. My hobby was grabbing my camera and taking off on the motorcycle and going taking pictures. I lost that. I lost the motorcycle. You have to forget everything else and focus on what you're doing, which is what motorcycling did. Being out on the water provides you the freedom again, and it puts you in a different state of mind. It brings an inner peace. For the last couple of years, there's been something missing. And the last couple of days and being out on the water and being with everybody here has just been a wonderful experience that I just can't wait to repeat over and over again.
I've been water skiing now for 14 years. I'm a free event water skier, slalom, trick, and jump. Jumping is my favorite event. Came to practice here for 2 weeks. Can't wait to start the rest of the season. This will be my fifth Worlds I've ever been to. I'm pumped and I can't wait.
Ryan Reel's been with the program since the 2007 Worlds. When he first came to us, we had a day just for blind people in Saskatchewan. We took him for 2 or 3 skis. He did extremely well. We were packing up at the end of the day, and he says, okay, what time tomorrow? At the time, he had no vision, and he had decent hearing. But today, during this camp, he's totally blind, and he has no hearing at all. Communication for Ryan has to be with spelling one letter at a time on his hand, and the only way that we can respond, quite frankly, is either yes or no. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it a challenge? Yes. Are we getting somewhere? I think so. He landed the longest jump for blind people at US Nationals last year, which qualified him to compete at these Worlds in Norway. So if he lands that jump again, he's going to be in a position for a medal, and that's what we need.
When I started riding with other guys in chairs, we were very proud of what we were doing. We were told we were inspiring people. But when I got here to this water ski camp, not only was riding with guys in chairs, but we have a girl here, Esther, she's blind, and Ryan, which is actually blind and deaf. He smiles and laughs at the little jokes that we can get across to him. These guys are the real inspiration. It was a life-changing trip for me, absolutely.
Here is where it all begins. 'Cause I've been needing you the most. Life is worth living. Oh, and you give me all your loving. And our love is a chain reaction. It comes in spurts, so let's keep this moving.
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys could catch some of that. I heard it was a little bit laggy, so But you can find this this video online if you type in adaptive water skiing on YouTube. It all pops up there. Alrighty, so I'm going to stop sharing that screen for a second. I'm going to share my slideshow with you guys.
See?
Does look at that. Okay, so a little bit about myself. Like Andrea said, I've been skiing since 2010. I came out fresh out of rehab. We actually came for rec therapy, and they cabbed us down to the water ski club, and we got to watch Pete go and ski, and it just kind of blew my mind. It looked like such a cool sport that I never knew existed, and it was something that I could just go with my family and my friends and go and ride, and that's the only reason I got involved. After about a year of skiing, I met Dave, and Dave, had mentioned to me that there's an opportunity to to join the national team, and they were looking for athletes, and he kind of gave me a list of things I needed to accomplish to achieve that goal, and I got to work and made that happen back in 2012. And in 2013 went to my first World Championships in Milan, Italy. 2015 went to the U.S. Nationals. There's been some tournaments in between there as well. 2017 down in Australia, and then I finally broke the slalom world record in Norway in 2019, which was a goal that I set out to do in about 2014, 2015, when I realized that I could make that happen. And I was named second overall adaptive athlete men's skiing in 2019. So essentially what that means is you have to do a 3-event skiing, so slalom, trick, and jump, which I'm going to explain a little bit later. And that puts you in a position for overall medals. And I'm still currently the record holder, even with COVID putting some halts on tournaments. And I know some people are competing elsewhere in the world, but I'm hoping sooner than later I get another shot at that thing. So oops. There we go. All right. So what is adaptive water ski? Adaptive water ski is any form of water skiing that a person with a classified disability could participate in. You don't have to necessarily be in a wheelchair or severely disabled, but if you have something that's preventing you from water skiing like you normally would, then there's a chance that you could probably join adaptive water skiing. Anyone with mobility impairments will have a category that they can compete in, so that you're competing against people with similar disabilities. It wouldn't be fair for someone that can stand but might have issues walking, competing against someone that has a neck injury and can't use their arms, right? So by doing this, what we do is we level the playing field, and then that way there's only one gold, one silver, one bronze, as we go with what's called a cost score in the nationals and world championships, which is a percentage of the world record in that category. And they just take the top 3 people that got closest or beat that world record, and those top 3 would get the medals in the 5 multiple collegiate divisions. It's an individual sport other than the national and provincial teams whose scores are combined to get team medals. So if we were at nationals, we would, we had other people from other provinces competing. Well, then amongst adaptive, we'd have our own kind of competition there. If we're on the national, they're competing at worlds, and we're on the national team, then our scores collectively are added up together. They take the top 5 best scores out of your team, and those put you in the team medal positions. Canada has one of the strongest growing teams in the world. We've placed 4th in the last 3 World Championships. Last year, we were just a couple hundred points from getting our first medal in the team event water skiing, and I'm quite certain that the way we're going, we're going to get there by the next Worlds, which has now been postponed until 2023, which will be in Bendigo, Australia. Adaptive water ski follows most of the same rules and regulations as able-bodied ski, and in Canada, we compete at the same tournament as able-bodied skiers, seeing as it is infrastructure and the event and the personnel going on, we are invited to compete with those guys. And keep in mind, adaptive water skiing isn't all about competing. So don't get overwhelmed about making teams and setting up scores. Really what it's about is getting out in the water and having fun and having a smile on your face. And if that's what you get out of it, that's the main goal. That's the main thing we're talking about here. Adaptive is open to all classes of disability: amputees, spinal cord injury, cerebral palsy, partially sighted, and with the exception of both mental disabilities, which aren't accepted at classification. These are the categories. So we have men, women, multiple pelagic, 1 through 5. 1 being someone with a neck injury that has very limited to no arm movement. 5 would be someone who is a fully functioning person, maybe with an injury that prevents them from necessarily skiing as a skier. Oh, sorry, Levi, I got your mic on there.
Levi, you got your mic on.
And then we got the AL class, so that's amputee and leg amputees, 1 through 2. So that's if you had a leg and an arm missing. Then you have A1 and L, or A1 to 2, which is arms, L1 to 2, legs, and V1 to 3 is visually impaired skiing. And the 3 events in water ski are trick, slalom, and jump skiing, which I'm going to get into here. So here's the equipment. Okay, it's so this is a adaptive fast start ski. So this would be something you would start out on if you came out for your first time. We just bolt these cages onto the top of the board. Each cage is either custom fitted or we have adjustable cages to help keep the participant in the ski. We don't generally belt people in. We want you to come out of the ski. Some people at a higher level may belt in so that they don't come flying out when they're ripping across the wakes. But for beginner skis, we don't do that. We want you to be able to get out of that ski. There's a little slit in front of the board. The rope goes in there. We can have it so if you can't, ski at all, or if you don't have any really upper body strength, we'll have 2 side skiers help get you up. You can have the rope in that little block, and we'll have someone in the boat, obviously monitoring that rope to make sure if you fall that someone can pull the pin, we call it, and let that rope go. But you're never more than a couple of inches away from your side skiers, so that you feel safe and confident on the water. Here's a 3 event skiing. So we've got jump skiing. That's Blake there in the top left corner. Oh no, maybe that's me actually. I thought it was Blake, but those pink gloves are definitely mine. That's jump skiing. We got Ashley there doing some slalom skiing in the top right-hand corner. And then we have our very own Phil Kerr doing some monster wake jumps over at a wakeboard competition, doing what we call trick skiing. Trick skiing, we use a wakeboard just like any other person's wakeboard. You can go buy them at any shop. And then we just drill some holes in them, put a foot plate on there, and make it happen. Some opportunities outside of Saskatchewan. So here's some, there's lots of have a go day. There in different parts of the province, like Alberta has a pretty strong program right now. We have connections in pretty well almost every province at this point. As far as if you want to do someone somewhere else that wanted to get involved with this, or maybe you're watching this at a later date and you want to know how to get involved in your own program and your own province. At the end here, I'll have some contact info. You can get at me and I can get you in touch with the right people. As far as competitions go, we have Westerns, Western Nationals, we call them, Canadian Nationals, the World Championships, the US Nationals, and for the first time ever, the Moomba Masters, which is an able-bodied tournament that will actually have a cash prize component. And then right around the time at the World Championships in Australia, they're going to pick, I believe it's going to be the top 5 skiers in the world. Adaptive skiers are going to get a chance to go and compete in front of millions of people on the river. Where can I check this out if you're in Saskatchewan here? Well, we've got a few clubs that offer ski ability programming. We have the Saskatoon Waterski Club. That's our main site. That's generally where we do most of our programming. We've got lots of personnel here in town, so it's a lot easier to get people together in Saskatoon. And we have Lisa Williams, who runs the South Sask Waterski Club, and they do have different events going on throughout the summer. So if you're maybe in that region of the province, that would be a good person that I can get you in touch with. The Madge Lake Waterski Club is a club I just started this year out at Madge Lake. We have a few adaptive athletes out there, and I plan to run a ski ability program or have some adaptive athletes skiing out at my home lake at Madge Lake. So you can get in touch with me directly or through SAS Sport to come book a time to either come watch us ski or come and give it a shot. In that picture there, that's actually Dave with his crazy Canadian hat on there and crazy Canadian shorts. He guides Ryan Reel. I'm not sure if you guys know who Ryan is, but Ryan's the athlete in the video that was blind and deaf. And that's a live action shot of him come tearing off that jump. I mean, you know, when you look at the things that we do in our daily lives and then you think about closing your eyes and putting earplugs in and going, you know, 40 some kilometers an hour off of a 4-foot jump, it's really makes you wonder, hey, like he's a brave guy and he's been in the program for such a long time. You know, it's been pretty amazing and pretty humbling to be competing with him. Here's some pictures of us of just different clinics skiing. So as you can see, we have an amputee, leg amputee there, learning to ski. I have a couple side skiers with them. The picture over there, we have someone who's not even holding on to the rope. They just have the side skiers helping them out. And there's Ryan there cutting some slalom turns at the very bottom there. And then some pictures of just some different trips and different things. Like one of the cool things about being on the team was being able to go and meet these other people from around the world with disabilities and hear their stories and watch them perform. I'm sure any of us that have competed at any adaptive sport always appreciates being able to go places and meet new people and just see how other people have adapted to the sport and how they make it happen. So we train in Florida usually every winter. We've been to Mississippi, we've been to California, we've been to Australia, Norway, Italy, France, all over the place. It's a pretty cool way to see the world. I mean, I've never left Canada before I started water skiing, and now I'm, you know, on a non-COVID year, I'm gone, you know, every few months doing something. So it really is an exciting program. If that's what you get out of it, even it's a pretty amazing experience. And to kind of wrap things up a little bit here, this is my email, nolan_barnes@hotmail.com. That's my phone number. I'll get you in touch with the right people if you want to, you know, give this a shot or come and check it out. There's Waterskiing Wakeboard Saskatchewan's email there, and then SAS Wheelchair Sports at the bottom, swsa@shaw.ca. I don't really have a good sorry, that boat kind of got in the way of the email there, but and then just some honorable mentions that I want to say. Lisa Williams, national team manager, valued Saskatchewan assistant CEO of the South Sask Waterski Club, huge pivotal person in executing our programming. She's joined us a few years ago, I think in 2015-ish, and been a pivotal part of the program. Dave Wassel, I know he's on the call right now. He's our national team coach. He's a provincial team coach, master coach developer, world renowned in the water ski world. Everyone knows who Dave is. He's been around forever, and he's helped not only adaptive athletes, but he's helped a lot of able-bodied athletes and wake athletes up through the years, because Canada has a lot of really good water ski talent, wake talent that has come out of this province, and Dave's been a big part of that. Blake Lamontagne, Canadian trick record holder. I believe he's got the MP3 slalom record too. Been in the sport since 2015. Awesome dude. He was a product of the system, just like I was. Went down to Florida, went skiing with a few people, just fell in love with it, and came back and decided to try the competitive side of it. Ashley Berg, jump world record holder, overall Canadian record holder. She represents women in Canada and across the world. She has been, a phenomenal skier. Early on in her career, she really progressed quickly, and it really set the bar for water skiing for women. Pete Andrews, previous world record holder in jump, current Canadian record holder. He's always helped us out with our clinics and been a big supporter of it. I know he's semi-retired right now, but he's always willing to lend a helping hand and help us with our programming. And Ryan Reel, overall Canadian record holder in visually impaired division. He's got every record you can think of in visually impaired water skiing. Super athlete. Proud to be his teammate. All these people here, I'm really proud to be associated with them. And we're all taking a part to try and shape this program and grow it into something really big across the country. And I just want to say thank you, Wheelchair Sports, SAS Sport, Sask Lotteries, Sport Canada, Waterski Wakeboard Canada, and Waterski Wakeboard Saskatchewan for all the support you guys do to help us do this sport that we love. Without these organizations, we can never do the things that we do. It's not the cheapest sport in the world, and it takes a real collective effort in order to do that. And through these organizations, we made it affordable and possible for us to execute programming here in Saskatchewan. And so that's my presentation. So at this point in time, I'd love to get to know you guys a little bit and chat. And you can ask me some questions, and if you want me to go over anything again, just let me know.
Thank you, Nolan. I'm just going to stop the recording so everybody can, what's it asking me here? Yeah.